Back this week from Turks and Caicos. So we're going to try to keep these podcasts rolling every single week. Last year we got 40 in, I think, and we missed some weeks whether we were traveling. And so we're going to try and just keep this nice and steady, put out content every single week for you guys. We're on vacation in Turks and Caicos, breaking up the winter and having a ton of fun. But we want to keep this rolling. So, Kate, what were some of the things you wanted to talk about today?
So, I wanted inspiration to come to me this week, kind of authentically, and it's my son's birthday. It's my birthday on the 17th. My son's birthday is on the 22nd, and he's turning 10. And he's just kind of been struggling, like, a little emotionally this week. And I love to do like readings, like medium readings, and I usually do one around my birthday. And so I talked to this woman a couple days ago, the day after my birthday, and I had a really cool reading with her. And our son Oscar came up, and he's just kind of having a difficult time. He'll have some nightmares. He'll struggle a little with anxiety, and that we should discuss our emotions more with him. And so you've heard on our podcast, like, we're trying to really discuss like a lot of mental health, emotional health, spiritual health on here, because it all plays into our physical health. And so interestingly enough, he has just been opening up more to me. I asked him about his nightmares, and he said, yeah, I was having those at home. And so I was talking to him more about getting his emotions out so he won't have as much anxiety, because his anxiety kind of fuels these dreams, these nightmares. And so this morning he was having a hard day, particularly a hard day. Like, we get up every morning and we have breakfast together and we go for a walk on the beach, and he was really emotional. And he's like, Mom, I've been trying to be positive, but my mind just keeps like focusing on all the negative. And he loves this place. This is his happy place. He watches videos on beaches in Turks and Caicos all year round. It's super sweet. He's been coming here since he was 11 months old. So like all the staff knows him. They're like, Oscar's back, and he just loves it. So I think part of it is he puts a lot of pressure on this trip to be perfect. And
hey, good morning.
And he also he's turning 10, and he's the type of kid that loves being a little kid. He loves playing with his younger cousins. He has a couple of friends that are younger, and he really gets sad about getting older, and he's very nostalgic. So he hates to let go of his old toys, all this sort of thing. So I told him part of this is probably his birthday coming up, but it really brought up a lot of issues that we struggle with as adults. So I wanted to talk about this on the podcast. I thought it's cool that he's recognizing this and trying to break this pattern where he's trying to be positive, but he keeps kind of focusing on what's not right. And we're here with our friends Julie and Sean, and Julie is a big journaler. And so she was talking about how she does a gratitude journal every morning. So we did that today. I did that today with Oscar. I had him get out a piece of paper and write 5 things he was thankful for. And I could feel this shift in him. It was really neat. I could just feel something lift from him. And he was really upset and just frustrated with himself. And it's like, how am I going to get out of this funk? And I told him, it's like changing the channel. See how if you just write this out, now you're focusing on what's positive and it grows. Whatever you focus on grows. And I just thought it was really cool, really interesting. And it's something that we want to take back with us. I said, hey, when we go back home, let's do this every morning, you and I. Let's write out 3 or 5 things every day. And it kind of just brings us like, this is a new year. And while I don't necessarily set New Year's resolutions, I think about how I want to change in the new year. Like, what do I want to modify? What do I want to tweak? We talk about that at the gym. Like, what can we do a little better this year? What didn't feel quite right last year? And I meditate every day. That's something I do very religiously. And I really can tell how much that's helping me. And that came up with Medium right away. That's neat because I can feel it, and it's keeping me in alignment. But then also this gratitude piece, I think, is very important. And it's something I'm going to add in every day to just first thing in the morning, write 3 or 5 things that I'm grateful for. And I just wanted to share that, and how we're talking with our son, who's 9, he's turning 10, about these things. And I think it's really important if you have kids to start talking about that when they're young, because that's when all these habits form. Like whether you're focusing on the positive or the negative, or something doesn't feel quite right, just maybe letting it be whatever it is. And I just wanted to share that.
Yeah. I mean, you can be in the coolest place in the world and have a moment or feel like you're still like everything's not right. And he had a little moment. I mean, this trip has been dang near perfect so far. But yeah, when you kind of catch yourself like whining or feeling sorry for yourself, or like you're not having fun, you have to snap yourself back into it.
And he's just anxious about getting in his most favorite things, and we're on like day 3. But we do that as adults. And I was telling him that, like, I will do it. I'll have to catch myself, like, if this isn't perfect, and I know the things that I focus on, it's much around my physical being, like my body, my I don't feel quite right in my body either. I feel like I am chubby today, or don't look great, or don't feel great, or I didn't do great in that workout and I thought I would. Those are the things that mess with me, and I just have to like zoom out and say, if anything, this is one bad day, and not more than that.
Yeah, I think this trip too, what we're starting to get it is pretty savvy with how to execute and really have a well-rounded trip now, where we get equal parts of unwinding, relaxing, the reasons you go on vacation, but also doing it in a way where you don't get 3 days into it and feel like trash. So finding our rhythm, I mean, we're surrounded by all-you-can-eat buffets, restaurants, bars that you can drink as much as you want.
Anytime you want.
Yeah.
And they got champagne at breakfast.
Yeah. So it's not that we're not partaking in some of that, but even for up until a year or 2 ago, like I would eat a really heavy breakfast and I would have awful heartburn when I would work out. I'm eating a lighter breakfast. The workouts we're doing them with 6 people right now. So all different ages and fitness levels and things. And so far it's worked out perfectly. Like dumbbells, kettlebells, typically total body stuff that doesn't trash you for the day, but keeps you feeling strong and active.
Less volume. And that's what we really noticed, like on vacation we do. Probably that's the biggest thing, less volume.
Well, the reason being too that I think is like here, how many steps did you get in yesterday?
Yesterday was just right under 22,000. The day before is almost 24,000. And I'm used to, at home, I always try to get 10. I'm usually at 12,000. So I'm getting about 10,000 more steps, which I think is 2 miles. And I feel that. And I'm just running around more. The sun kind of takes it out.
Well, no, what did 24? That was like what?
So I think 5,000 is a mile. So then you've got like
5,000
almost
feet.
5 miles. Yeah.
No, I think it said it was like 8-9 miles. That 24,000 steps.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like pushing up closer to 10 miles on that. So, thing you have to take into account is a lot more general, like physical activity from just walking and doing things. So, we're swimming, we're out on the beach, recreating all day long, walking from place to place, getting, for me, probably 3 or 4 times the steps. So you're just generally like moving around, you get more tired. Or like if we're on another trip, we're walking a lot more. So taking that into account so you don't trash yourself or get hurt or get sick on a trip like this. And generally everyone feels really good right now.
But it's a lot of saying no. I think, and that's what we're starting to realize, like in the morning, Brandon loves like bacon. He loves bacon.
Yeah.
So bacon and cheese and sausage and
Yep.
and I'll do the same thing at every meal, and then it's like you feel actually crappy. So it's
Yeah,
like
it kind of ruins the day
moment,
a little bit.
and for me, a lot of it is less alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you can drink that next drink or two, but you're going to feel like crap the next day. You're not going to sleep as well. And what's the point? It's not improving my experience. So, I mean, it's tough. It's a lot of like saying no to yourself, but then learning when to relax and knowing how you're wired. And Julie, my friend Julie and I were talking a lot, and we're kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum in many ways. I'll push myself a little too hard. And she was kind of laughing. And she was like, if you push yourself a little too hard with your workout, like today, I was just pushing these weights too hard. I'm like, I pulled my neck just a little bit. And she's like, I always can push a little harder. And the same thing, whether it's like having fun, I want to eat a little more. She holds back a little bit. I'm like, if we could kind of meet in the middle, just really being aware of how you're wired and kind of self-correcting. And even like, again, kind of to circle back to like that talk with the medium, she was seeing like, hey, you're getting to know yourself more and more, and you're starting to really understand and be aware of how you're wired and working with yourself. And it really resonated because that's all of life. And we're all so different. But I think sometimes we're embarrassed of how we're different. Like, okay, I like to go too hard. I might be embarrassed of that, so I'll cover it up. I'll try to hide it. Or if I'm a little more timid, someone that's a little more timid, they might try to cover that up and try to pretend like they're really adventurous. When really, if you can just let it be, work with yourself and bring it out to the open, then you can kind of auto-correct. And it's just really about how to be happy, even on vacation. But then there can be a lot of pressure to make everything perfect. And whether it's vacation or a birthday or a special celebration, and especially coming off the holidays, that's a big thing. Like, and I think that's part of like the letdown with the holidays, whether it's you didn't have the conversations you wanted to have with your family, or you didn't have the experiences you wanted to have, it can leave you with a feeling of like, shit, that wasn't exactly what I wanted. And I think just to really be honest with yourself about going on trips or having experiences and how you're wired, how everyone else is wired, and how to like work with that is a lot of how to be happy in life.
Yeah. This year I've really tried to work on that where, if a day is not going perfectly, and especially when you build something up all year, like a big trip like this, if you roll with it, and again, like you breathe through it and you get through that little moment, it's not a huge deal. And then, or you can ruin a day or two.
Right.
Getting stuck in that.
You could go out there. Brandon really wants to snorkel today. He could go out there and the visibility could be shit for some reason.
It's not gonna be. I can see it right now.
But you can't like build it up like I'm absolutely going to see this sea turtle or this or have that. And these are silly things, but we do that in every way in our life. Whether even if it's like, okay, this is a new year, you're being super strict on your diet, but you're going to go out for pizza, and then the pizza isn't quite right that weekend, and you're like, oh man, all week I've built this up so much, and then now it's gone. Where you're focusing on all the small things and enjoying all the small things, whether it's your coffee in the morning or a break you have, or just the little, just noticing everything and not putting too much emphasis on any one person or thing or experience.
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job of that so far. We're packing a lot in. We're having a blast. And these trips, it definitely takes means to do it, but breaking up the winter and getting that vitamin D on, I've read studies that it sticks with you for 2 months. So we really try and prioritize like sun in the winter trip. And it really helps you feel really good for a few weeks after you're done. And this is the week we've intentionally planned it and we've kept it for years, because this week, I think back at home, did they get school canceled?
I don't think Upper Arlington, but our friend Julie's daughter's school was canceled for the cold. Yeah.
But that happened last year.
Yeah.
So it's a week that we know is generally pretty cold, like the second to last weekend in January. Nowhere in the continental U.S. can you really travel and get real nice weather, like warm, cool weather. So we've intentionally made a priority to
and
save
we don't
money.
ever lose that. So
Yep.
if things go usually, and this is just us, finances are such a personal thing, private thing, but I really feel like in the United States, especially in the Midwest, it is not traditional to prioritize vacation over house projects, over
Your
certain
car,
other things. Last year, our heating, our air conditioning went out, so I'm like, well, that's the fund on the house improvements, but we're still going to Turks and Caicos. We're still going here. And it's something we think about and plan for every year. And I think whether you don't absolutely have to come here, but I think everyone can travel in some way and give themselves a break if they prioritize that. Just like workouts, just like anything else. It's just generally in the Midwest, this isn't the popular thing to do.
Well, so one thing I think people will like, and it's just, I think I saw my friend a few years ago. It was Corey G had some because he takes his family out on vacation every year. I think they go out to like the Outer Banks or something. But he had like vacation rules for his max effort muscle crew, and like he drinks, he'll drink some beer during the day, but he has like these workouts and stuff. But we over the years have somewhat got ours together. We haven't really discussed this, but like things that we do. We eat breakfast.
Healthy.
Eat a healthy breakfast. We'll go for a walk in the morning. Me and Charlotte will kind of like lay back. I'll answer emails, but then we'll get.
Breakfasts usually look like an omelet with fruit right now. And I love my oatmeal, so I'll do oatmeal. I do bring protein powder. I'll do that, or an egg white omelet, no cheese and some fruit, just to kind of give you guys an idea. So we're still up I wake up at 6. Oscar and I do. That's our time together. Brandon and Charlotte usually wake up around 7. So then we have that morning time. 8 a.m. we usually drop the kids off at childcare. We always go work out.
So we'll work out. Oftentimes we'll do like a cold plunge afterwards. Then we'll get coffee.
We always stretch after a workout.
We'll get coffee, and then
we do a piece of fruit. So that kind of bridges us to lunch.
Typically, then we're off for the day doing we'll hit the beach and do some activities. We'll usually grab the kids. Today, the kids are going to be doing activities in like a kids camp. We're going to go snorkeling right after we shoot this. We'll hit lunch, but what I kind of generally want to get into a little bit is just like, we like to have drinks, and at home we usually do it. Now a lot of times we're going stacking weeks where we don't drink at all. Yeah, we don't drink at all, but it's typically Saturday night is when we do. We'll go out to dinner and have some drinks. On vacation, we'll do it almost every day. Sometimes we'll take one day off, but we'll wait generally until about 3:30 to have our first one, and then we'll have a few leading all the way up, and then we have generally an early dinner here, so we'll eat dinner around 6.
It's usually later than I like. I like a 5, but we can't drop the kids off until 6, so it usually ends up being 6.
5 to 6, depending on what type of trip we're on. We'll eat dinner early, have a couple of drinks with dinner, then cut it off and start to hydrate a bit.
And that's something new that we're discussing, like what we're really trying to come together now, like, okay, I was saying, like, let's try to cut it off. You were saying it too, like 8 p.m. and then drink water. And I felt really good every day that I've slept well.
Yeah.
But
you don't feel like you're missing out on anything when we do that. And that's how we live in Puerto Rico too.
Yeah.
When we do that, we don't feel like we're missing out on anything. You don't feel perfect, like you'll have a little fuzz in the morning from doing that, and you got to kind of shake it out. But you feel like you're getting all the things in vacation. You still generally feel strong in your workouts. Like we'll go to CrossFit gym and do a hardcore workout. Sometimes we'll modify if it's really really heavy duty, like, I'm going to maybe scale this because I don't want to come off having 5 beers last night. And I think they had like Diane one time or whatever, you know, I'm not ripping a 21:15.9 5-minute workout, you know, max speed. I'm going to do a 185 in push-ups or whatever it is. But you don't feel like you're missing any part of it. And on a lot of trips, if we do have a night that really warrants it, like we are having fun, we're still spontaneous.
Yeah.
We'll go out, we'll meet some people, we'll go out with friends.
We
might
really
stay out
enjoy
late.
meeting people. Like,
Yeah, we'll
like
stay out late. We don't let it hinder us,
Yeah.
but we're also not just forcing, you know, drinks down late into the night and then just like languishing until noon. Like we did that for years, and I did that growing up, you know, when I was younger on trips, and you start losing days, you start feeling crappy, you start piling on weight, and it doesn't enhance the trip. Like today, we're going to go out, we're going to run around and be active, and I feel fantastic.
But I think a lot of our population listening to this has a harder time relaxing.
Yeah.
So you guys are on a regimen. We're both very regimented, especially during the week. And yet I get obsessed with wearing our boots. Like I brought them on vacation, and Brandon's like, maybe just break this cycle a little so you don't get too like addicted
attached
to
to where you
this.
have to lean on props and supplements and all this stuff.
And I think that's a lot of vacation that's healthy for us, is to break these things we can be obsessive with.
Sure.
And it's patterns in our brain, and it's actions, whether like I get obsessed with, you know, I'm in nutrition, so I have to have my 5 meals. On this trip, I'm like, you know what? I want to eat a little more, and then if I'm hungry, I'll eat. If I'm not, I won't. And I'm just having our 3 meals and a snack, and it's different for me, but I actually feel so much better. But it's hard for me. It's triggering. It's like, but wait, I'm used to this. And I think I've seen people more in the CrossFit mode, in the workout mode, come on trips and keep forcing their normal regimen and be afraid, well, I can't have pizza. I can't have that burger. I'm just still going to order this salad. And you might as well be back in Ohio. Like, and you can go get some sun, and that's cool, but what's the point of all this if you don't switch it up? Different food, enjoying like whatever's local or what's good here.
Yeah.
There's a great wood fire pizza place here, and so we enjoy like one day. Today's the day we're having pizza, and they have like a little yogurt shop with your own toppings. We're doing that with the kids. We really look forward to it. And I think that might be more like the difficulty with a lot of people listening. Like, I'm afraid to do that. And then if you do it, then you might overdo it and think that's bad. And it's really just kind of working with, okay, how do I do this in a way that's enjoyable, that it actually enhances how I feel, instead of makes me feel worse. So this has been like, we went on our first trip almost 15 years ago. And that trip, we drank way too much. I mean, we were single, we were younger, but I was 30. It's not like I was super young. We drank so much, then we worked out so hard, and Brandon was getting ready for the games, and he's like, I felt worse after I came back because our bodies just got beat up. So it is a process of 15 years of working with this, refining ourselves and understanding how we're wired and working with that. And everyone, again, is so different, is to understand, do you have a harder time relaxing and just enjoying the moment? Lean into that and try to do that more. Or when you enjoy, is there no governor? I'm the no governor person. He probably has a harder time relaxing. But we can switch off in that way. Like, we can kind of go like, Brandon had an extra beer and some popcorn. He didn't feel that bad today, but I kind of knew. So I at breakfast today, I'm like, I'm going to go a little lighter with this because I think it'll help you feel better. And we're just always kind of trying to help each other out in that way and make those adjustments, but knowing it's very important to know yourself and be honest with yourself about who you are and not try to hide that. And I think that's what's tough in life. Like, how we're wired is neat, but it can also be hard for us to admit and to have those honest conversations about who you really are and where you're at now in life. And I come from such a disciplined bodybuilding show, and then party, show, party. That's so, it got so ingrained. It was such a pattern for me. I'm still out working that. And, you know, you did CrossFit super intensely for years and had that discipline built in. So it's kind of hard for you to relax in different ways too and just be.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's going to have their own balance, and you got to figure out yours. But the kids are a big part of it too. So it's like we're managing us trying to have our trip, the kids trying to have their trip, and give and taking the energy and making sure like we are all flowing correctly, and we're getting, you know, and it's a moving target, and we're getting better at it. But, you know, we'll see people struggle sometimes on a trip, where we've struggled on it, where it's like, you know, you're kind of chasing your tail with the kids, and you're just like, well, they might as well be on winter break at home. So you have to make sure like you're getting your activities in. The kids they're resting properly, because they'll just run around like a chicken with their head cut off and then just feel terrible.
That is something,
you know, so
else
you have to like really manage the kids.
We enforce a very strict shutdown every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's actually the biggest thing that I think most people
like 1:30 or 2.
Yeah.
Mom and dad are meditating. You're not going to sit there and watch us meditate. You're not going to just go on your iPad. Our daughter Charlotte we've got a whole process. She does they have kids meditations on YouTube Kids.
Little nap.
She does that.
Yeah.
Oscar can't be in the room with her. They start fighting. They wake each other up and do all sorts of crazy stuff. So then he reads. We're trying to keep him up. He's improved on his reading a lot. That's something he always needs to work on. So he's reading. She meditates. And after he's reading for a little while, she's asleep. She needs more rest than him. Yeah. She's 3.5 years younger. He goes in and rests. We have our alone time, meditating, and then just some adult alone time too. And I think it's really important. And I think a lot of couples with kids don't prioritize their adult alone time, whether it's just like being close to each other. We do this cheesy on the beach dinner, but we really look forward to this candlelight dinner. And it kind of makes you feel a little funny, because something like they'll bring you a rose, but we really enjoy that, and just kind of allowing each other, like allowing that to be like nice, you know.
Fun. Yeah.
And
cool.
But also to the point of not being so regimented. Today, we're not doing the shutdown. We're getting a massage at 2. The kids are still going to be in kids camp, and it's okay. They're not getting showers all day. They're going to go out to the ocean for a shower, and not being too obsessed with that. Like,
yeah, the days can shift and change, but generally we have that on each trip with the kids, where we have a nap, kind of a midday. It's like a siesta.
Yeah.
Every day, and it keeps us feeling good throughout it. Where I do, you know, even like being here at a big resort, you'll see people like, you know, they're on their 15th beer at 6 o'clock, beat red like a lobster at the pool, and you're like, man,
and you don't feel good.
Tomorrow is going to be a nightmare for that guy. And that, like, you can just see the kids have been eating, you know, pizza all day, and it's like, ooh, that's going to be a rough one. We figured out how to flow around that, and like come back home and hit the ground running, and not feel like it's sort of that feeling that a lot of people will talk about, like, man, I feel like I need a vacation after my vacation to get my shit in gear when I get home. And we've started to figure out a way to, like, we get home and unload our stuff, and we can hit Monday, hit the ground running and feeling really good. And then also looking back on each day that we had, and that they're not all perfect by any means, but we really,
we had a
full day every day. We felt good. We did this. We were able to have some drinks and cut loose a little bit with our friends and family and do that. But again, it's like, I always talk about, you know, like that 3 or 4 drink sweet spot where you're like, and after that, all you're doing is trying to hold on to it. You're not really holding on to it. You're going to drive.
There's some science there where, like, your experience doesn't improve after 4 drinks. No. And so this is something, again, I always have to work on the drinks. And at my age, I turned 45, yes, I'm 45 now. Liquor does not sit well with me, so I'm just doing, like, I'm on champagne and Sauvignon Blanc they have here. It's really good. We'll do some red wine tomorrow. And tomorrow we have that candlelight dinner. We do tend to drink a little more, so we're kind of aware of that. But also, like, if you don't feel well, trying to just, hey, I'm going to leave that. Like yesterday I did not feel great. I didn't sleep well the night before, and drinks weren't sitting well, and just paying attention to that and letting them sit. So I think, again, having this rhythm, but then being in your body during that experience, like, how do I feel today? And for us, for me, it's backing off on the drinking when it doesn't feel good. And I know you've done that before too, or like food, like, okay, this isn't sitting well. I know in my head I wanted to do this, but it just doesn't feel right. But then for us as a couple, we both tend to push too hard. Mm-hmm. And this trip, we're good about listening to our bodies with working out. On our Puerto Rico trip, that is usually a challenge because we have this CrossFit gym we love, but we go there the week after the open. And I was telling Brandon, I'm like, this year I might not go to the CrossFit gym after that. And it makes me sad, and maybe I'd like to go to the coffee shop, but being okay with that because I'm honoring with what my body needs in that moment. And then if we get there and I feel fine, that's great. But I'm intentionally already thinking I need a more down week because that's what's hard for us. It's hard for us to say, this week, we're just going to move very lightly. Like, I picture myself doing yoga, walks, and maybe some band workouts, but not the other stuff because it beat me up. It kind of just, I always call things like tipping points. It was a tipping point for me where it kept beating up my body almost for the next year. So then we went into summer shred. I wanted to get faster. I hurt my hamstring. And I think a lot of it is just my body was tired and I didn't listen to it.
Sometimes you need to not white knuckle the workouts though too.
Yes, and he always talks to me.
You can't. I was like,
really hard.
Like, I can only handle it doing it this. I'm like, you can only handle attacking a workout like it's the open.
That is very hard. For
like
me.
you execute.
I need to just go pick up the lighter weight, put myself in, and that is something, again, like, I need to work on that. And I need to struggle through it.
Cruise through it at 80%.
Yeah.
And not try and win the workout.
It is hard.
You can do more days that way, and then pick a workout that like I'm going to really target like executing and performing. And it's just more of like it's a way of training without having to do it on your own.
Right.
And because you get put through warm up, you're in the class, and you'll go harder than you would doing your own thing. So that's how I train more often than not now. Have a day or two, I'll try and really go. But yeah, I think a good general rule too, if you are traveling and looking for workouts, and I'll plug our old Edge at home program. A lot of and still do it. It's mainly just like dumbbells and a jump rope, or running and dumbbells, and that's the kind of workouts we do. But trying to emphasize a lot of like total body movement. And you're not hitting the same muscles every day, but like, hey, we're gonna, kind of push-pull this day and pull-push this day and run this day, and
Today is a really good example that we had to just kind of walk us through. We're on day three total here. Our travel day was rest. That was Saturday. Sunday.
We don't work out usually on
we don't work out on our travel days. We get an early flight, and then we walk a lot. That was a day. I ended up getting a ton of steps anyways. Sunday was a little bit more of an intense day. Kettlebell swings, lunges, and push-ups. And it was only 12 minutes, but we ended up getting like, we were all feeling like good that day, and we ended up getting around like 22 to 24 rounds. And it was a more intense day. And then we're still feeling really good yesterday, and we did some, what did we do? Oh,
it was gorilla rows,
front squats,
front rack kettlebell front squats, and sit-ups. There was a meltdown of that. Both workouts took roughly 12 minutes.
Yes. 20, 16, 12, 8, 4.
Yeah. So it was 60 gorilla rows and then 30 front rack kettlebell front squats and 100 sit-ups. So it was 20, 16, 12, 8, 4, and then the
half the squat.
Squats were 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 10 sit-ups between each thing. And yeah, so again, kind of working opposing things today.
And then we did a small beach run yesterday, but we were all pretty wiped out from that. So today we just did pull-ups and presses.
Pull-ups and dumbbell shoulder presses.
Then we did 15 minutes
5
of
sets
cardio.
at 8-ish, and then little cardio, and then you ran us through
like a little bit of a yoga.
15-minute yoga session that was pretty good. And then we're going to go snorkeling. So again, it's more moderate stuff.
But just feeling that pace. Like we really try to feel in, and then maybe tonight we'll talk with Julie and Sean. How are you guys feeling? What do we want to do tomorrow? But tomorrow we could probably pick up the intensity again.
I used to try and plan these out, and now we do it day by day, almost right down to the minute. I'll see how we feel, look at the room that we have to work with and the equipment, and then throw one together on the fly, and it usually works out much better that way. If I have a rigid plan, and then we have like a little pavilion area, and it's packed, choked full of people, we can't really get in there, and then I get frazzled, so it's better for me to wing it, and then kind of go that direction. It works way better for me to kind of do it like that. And then kind of assessing how everyone else is feeling and their energy, it works way better that way. So yeah, I think, again, I'd love to take some more people maybe out on a retreat or a trip. We're kind of starting to get that feeling again, and we'll let you guys know. Maybe 2026 we could do something like that again. We're thinking about it because we really like bringing people along and kind of having people live this little week kind of lifestyle with us. And we've got Sean and Julie, so it kind of feels again like we're doing that again. My parents are here with us and they're doing it. I mean, they jumped in the cold plunge on their own today.
Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Yeah. But yeah, we just wanted to check in with you guys and keep the podcast rolling pretty much every week. I'd love to get close to 50 in this year. We've been more and more consistent every year with it. So you can look forward to it every week. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Well, hopefully these mics work.
Yeah.
And we've got a new setup. I got a GoPro, some mics that we bought off Amazon, and hopefully it sounds all right. Check in with you guys next time.